Hi, third graders. My name is Mr. Muehlbauer, and I'm the fourth grade band teacher at Park Avenue in Sanfordville. Today, I'd like to introduce you to the instruments that are available to you in the fourth grade band next year. Now, as a third grader, you get to sign up for your top 3 instruments, and I want to help you make that decision. So today, I'm going to demonstrate all the different instruments that we have available to you. I'm going to play a couple notes that you'll learn this year, a song that we'll learn at the very beginning of the year, and then an example of a song that we'll learn at the end of the year. As you're listening, you want to find an instrument that looks like it'd be a lot of fun to play, that has a great sound, it sounds really good to your ears, and something that you can picture yourself learning next year. Now, it's my job to teach you, and I promise you, if you pick the right instrument, you're going to have a great time in band. So, let's help you pick the right one today. The instruments I'm going to introduce you to are the flute, clarinet, saxophone, trumpet, trombone, baritone, tuba, and percussion. All right, let's get started. Our first instrument is going to be the flute. The flute is one of the smaller instruments in the band. It's high-pitched and it has a very sweet sound. You can see that it has a lot of finger buttons. This is where we're going to be placing our fingers. And it has a hole on the end. This hole is what we're going to blow not into, but over. Kind of like if you had a soda bottle and you hold the soda bottle up to your lip and you blow over it. Sometimes it makes that noise. Well, that's how the flute's going to work. So let me demonstrate the flute. Okay, and that's the flute. It's a great choice. If you like high notes, if you like fast notes, if you like sitting in the very front of the band, the flute might be the instrument for you. Our next instrument is the clarinet. Now, the clarinet is definitely one of my favorite instruments. I like them all, but clarinet's one of my favorites. Kind of like a flute, it has a lot of buttons. But unlike a flute, it's going to make sound by blowing into it. On the end of the clarinet, there's this piece of wood. It's called a reed, and the reed is going to vibrate. It's going to vibrate against this piece of plastic, and it's held on here with this screw. When I put my fingers on just right and blow into it, we're going to have a high-pitched but mellow sound. Where if the flute is high-pitched and kind of sweet or maybe even a little bit shrill, the clarinet is very warm and lovely. All right, let's listen to the clarinet. I'm going to change my music over here. Okay, here's a song that we might learn at the end of the year. And that instrument is our clarinet, one of my absolute favorites. Now, you would choose clarinet also if you want to sit in the front of the band, if you like fast notes, but with a little bit of a deeper, mellower sound. Clarinet. Okay, our third woodwind instrument is called the saxophone. Now, the saxophone is similar to a flute because it has a lot of buttons. It's similar to a clarinet because it also has that reed. But you'll notice it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit heavier, and it's made of metal. This is going to give it a loud, forceful sound. The saxophones sit in the middle of the band, and they play the middle notes, not too high and not too low. Let me get some music up here, and I'll show you. This is what a saxophone sounds like. Saxophone. So if you like loud noises, if you like fast notes with lots of buttons, you'll sit in the middle section of the band. The saxophone might be a good choice for you. We're going to switch over now to the brass section. The first brass instrument is called the trumpet. Now, all of our brass instruments make sound by using what's called a mouthpiece. There's a section that you're going to blow into. You'll put your lips right on it. The sound goes in that little hole, travels all the way through the instrument, and it comes out the end. The trumpets sit in the back of the band. They're strong, they're loud, they're usually one of the more important instruments in the band, and it's a lot of fun to play. In fact, back when I was in 4th grade, I played the trumpet. This is actually my exact trumpet that I played when I was your age, which I think is kind of neat. Okay, to make sound on the brass instruments, we're going to put our lips together, and we're going to make a buzz sound like this. And I know that sounds silly, but that's what we do. Then we blow it into here. It sounds even sillier, but wait, when we put it all together, and I push these buttons, and I make my lips tighter or looser to change the sound, here's the sound that you're going to get. Move my music here. Here's the sound that you're going to get on a trumpet. Oops. Okay, that's the trumpet. If you can take a nice deep breath in, if you can blow fast air and focused air, if you like playing louder, strong music, the trumpet would be a great choice for you. Trumpet. Okay, this instrument is one of the more popular instruments in the band. It's long, right? It's almost as tall as I am, which is pretty neat. But it's balanced just right that even somebody small, even a really small 3rd grader, can hold it comfortably and can make great sounds. This instrument is called the trombone. Now, like a trumpet, it has a mouthpiece. It's a little bit bigger. We're going to blow into that to make our sound. Now, because the instrument is larger, it's going to have a deeper pitch. But the one thing that's really popular on a trombone and that sets it apart from all the other instruments is it has a slide. I'm going to stand up so you can see it. Here we go. So this part right here is going to go out and in. Watch. Out and in and out and in. Now, as I move my lips tighter and looser, as I move that slide out and in, this is how I'm going to change the notes. So I don't have a lot of buttons like on a flute, clarinet, or a trumpet. I use the slide instead. Okay, so let's demonstrate what a trombone sounds like. I'm going to stand up so you can see that slide moving in and out. And of course, everybody always asks for the most famous trombone solo you could ever imagine. It sounds like this. That's the trombone. A great choice. The trombones sit at the end, at the back of the band. They play deep, loud notes. They're very important, but they don't have that high pitch. So if you like a deeper sound, a richer sound, if you're a little bit unique and you want to stand out, the trombone would be a wonderful choice. Okay, these next two instruments have limited availability, meaning I only have room for 4 baritones in band. And this other instrument, the tuba, I only have room for, I believe, 4, maybe 3. We'll see. So if you're deciding on a baritone or a tuba, you might want to put trombone as a second choice. A lot of young musicians start on a trombone and then graduate in middle school to these instruments. But we will be starting a few fourth graders, third graders, and fourth graders on these instruments. So this first instrument is called a baritone. You can see it's kind of like a trumpet, just a lot bigger. It has 3 buttons, 3 valves, and it has the mouthpiece. The other instrument, I'm going to show you them both, is the tuba. The tuba and baritone are very, very similar, but the tuba is going to be even larger. This is an instrument that would stay at your house, and the school would provide you another instrument to keep at school. So you wouldn't have to bring these 2 instruments back and forth on the bus or in your parents' car. One would live at your house and one would live at school, and you would play each one accordingly. All right, so we just saw the baritone. Let's look at the tuba. All right, this big guy is the tuba. Both of these instruments, baritone and tuba, are going to sit in the back of the band, and they're going to play the low, low notes, way, way down in the basement. They're kind of in the background, but they're very, very important. I like to think of it as the foundation of the band. So let's listen first to the baritone. It's going to sound similar to a trombone, but instead of using the slide, we're going to use the valves. And it sounds like this. Okay, and that's our baritone. Again, if you sign up for the baritone, you might want to put trombone as your second choice because they're very, very similar, and the baritone will have limited availability. Great instrument, we just don't have a lot of them. Okay, let's check out that tuba. The student that gets assigned to tuba, we'll take a couple. It's going to need to be a larger student, somebody that can take a huge deep breath in, somebody that can hold this big instrument on their lap and wants to play those deep, loud, long notes. If you sign up for tuba, you might want to put as a second choice baritone or maybe even trombone, because they're all very closely related, the tuba just being the largest of our low brass instruments. It has 3 valves and a mouthpiece. Ooh, boy. Now, if that's something that appeals to you and it can be a popular instrument, let me know, because I would love to find a few students that would be a great fit for our tuba. And if nobody plays this year, we'll start you on baritone, or we might start you on trombone, and you could always graduate to the larger instrument when you get to middle school. Okay, there's one final one that I'd like to show you, and this is going to be our percussion section. Now, percussion is a fancy name for drums. We're going to learn snare drum, bass drum, crash cymbals, xylophones, everything that sits in the back of the band and keeps the beat. The primary instrument we're going to learn this year is snare drum. So I'm going to adjust the video so you can see it. Here we go. All right, this is our snare drum. It's going to be played with sticks, and we're going to learn proper control and technique and counting. The student that signs up for percussion is somebody that's let me bring this up. The student that signs up for percussion is somebody that's very focused, can tolerate loud noises because it gets a little loud back here, and somebody that can keep track of multiple things. So you're going to be tapping your foot, you're going to be counting, you're going to be playing multiple different instruments. It's a complicated instrument, but it's also a super fun instrument for the right students. So I'm going to demonstrate 2. I'm going to demonstrate a snare drum and a xylophone. The snare drum will be first. Okay, here we go. So snare drum will sound something like this. The other instrument we'll be learning is xylophone. The xylophone is quite large. Let me bring you up here. Okay, the xylophone is quite large. You wouldn't have one of these at your house. You would have a smaller version of it, but this is the one we use here at school. It's laid out similar to a piano, where a piano has the white keys and the black keys. All of our notes are the same color, but they're laid out in the same way. Unlike a piano where you're going to use your fingers, instead we're going to use mallets. All right, so I'll demonstrate a couple of notes on the xylophone. Okay, and that's going to be the xylophone. So both of those instruments, the snare drum and the xylophone, are going to be under the word percussion. Percussion is going to sit in the back of the band. It's going to be students that are highly organized, very motivated, and can handle some loud noises. All right, so we'll get this xylophone out of the way. And those are the instruments that are available to you in the 4th grade band. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, you can send me an email or you can come knock on my door, and I'd be happy to talk to you more about them. I hope to see all of you next year in fourth grade band. Good luck on your choices.